Rise and shine. Grab your coffee cup, come spend some time. I know it's early, the start of a new day. No need to worry, it's LolCow Cafe. Rise and shine, baby, wake and bake. Clear out your mind, baby, just take a break. LolCow Cafe. Chill out with us today.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the coolest, the calmest, and the chillest in the entire LolCow universe. You are watching LolCow Cafe. Oh man, what an interesting time it has been, chat. I don't know. It's we got 2 days left, I believe. Today is the big Mr. and Mrs. Glammy wedding, so I got that to look forward to. Also, the next day is supposed to be the final day, like the wrap-up day, right, or whatever. I don't know. We'll get into that later. You know, may have a chance to bring some people in to talk about your thoughts on Fat Camp, what you guys think. But this is just my opinion. Just my opinion, right? Watching everyone, watching the streams, you know, just seeing what they're doing after being there. I honestly think everyone's just over it. I think they're ready for it to just be over with, and they just want to return home. You know, I know this past weekend when a bunch of us left, you know, people were kind of like sad that we were leaving. Obviously, yesterday they said it was Miss Tina's last stream, so I think that kind of is going to bring the energy down a little bit, and you know, kind of like they just get chipped away. It's just gonna kind of bring it down. So I don't know. It's gonna be different. Gonna be I don't know. I feel bad for him, and I hope that the rest of the time is beautiful for him. So I'm here alone right now. Evidently they did their sleep stream last night, and some of the stuff was not together this morning. So Beans and Grim are working on that, and Miss Beans will get in here as quick as possible. So, Duck Savannah, always here, sir, with the Canadian Five. Thank you. Good morning to everyone. Oh, it's coffee time. Let's get the day off on the right foot. Only one more sleep till baseball season starts. Well, if you're into baseball, what's that say? What was it? I forgot the name whenever they do the kickoff for baseball. Sorry. Recovery Gamer, no. Tina just left Fat Camp, from what I understand. She just left Fat Camp, and she didn't quit Queens. Obviously, as they said, Becky isn't fired from Queens. And there's one thing I want to say. Scorpio Phoenix, Billy to LolCow Live, Ken to Rewind, Grim to Cafe, Savage to Queens, Nightmare to Aussie, Twiggy to Madhouse. The funny part is, if you don't know, I actually started on Rewind. I started on Rewind. I was there for 2 episodes. Then I got swapped out for Miss Glammy. I think she was there for 2 or 3 episodes, and then they just went with Billy and Xylee. So, for those that don't know, it's always coffee time in the cafe. I have Tim Hortons, the GOAT, you know what I mean? Got that in here right now. I haven't made my sweet tater Tim Hortons blend yet since I've been home, and I really want to make that. Classic black man rewind miss as you can. Yeah, I mean that wasn't my decision, so we'll leave it at that. It probably worked out better for me anyway because of my nighttime job, so I'm not gonna like throw shade or anything. And like I said back then, me and Keem talked about it. He gave me a great step away gift. We'll leave it at that, and it was awesome. Lee Maria Grimm's and Beans are MVP 100%. 100%. And I'm not just saying that because Beans is my co-host. Like the shit they did and the shit they had to deal with, making everything work, making everything go, and the running back and forth and all that. Like hats off to Grim and Beans. I know Twiggy stepped in wherever he needed to step in, but I also have my own thoughts on that. Miss Jess with the 5. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Miss Jess. Hope all is well with you. If you talk to Complexity today, tell them I said hello. I know they're busy on the after show trying to get that going, but yeah, it's beautiful though. Great girl. Ken and Beans are great together. Plus, Grim has a day job. Wouldn't be able to do cafe. Exactly. That's the weird thing about Grim. You know, like originally when Court failed and I pitched cafe, they tried out me and Miss Hayes or whatever, and she ended up leaving because of moving or whatever. We're not going to get into all that, but I asked Beans to come on to be my co-host because we were still trying to catch me a co-host. You know what I mean, to become a permanent one with me. And then they put Beans on LolCow Test, which used to be LolCow Court. And then Beans said she'll come on Cafe if Grim could have a chance on Test, and that was agreed upon. So a little bit of lore if y'all didn't know how how Cafe and Test kind of got to where they are right now. So, I love Beans. She's the perfect co-host I could ever ask for. She's definitely the yin to my yang. Her strengths are my weaknesses, and I believe that is vice versa as well. So I know sometimes I feel like I overtalk her, and that's, a couple times or whatever. I've always said, Beans, I feel like I'm talking too much, you jump in, That's something I have to work on, because I know me, when I get to talking, sometimes I don't stop. But, yeah. Also, Joji became a Band World member while we were waiting on the stream. So thank you, Joji. We appreciate that. When am I getting a green screen? So I have the green screen. I was trying to mess around with it, but this was right before the camping trip. But I do have it. I just got to get it set up with the chroma key and all that. Like I was looking into how to do that. But what's today? Wednesday? Today's Thursday, I believe. By next week, I'll have it ready to go and it'll be here. So next week, green screen for Ken. So y'all have my word on that. And yeah, let's get into this thing we call a show. Obviously, I want to wait for Miss Beans to get some more opinions on some other things. But like I said before, Chad, I think we need to get back to basics. I think we need to get back to what Cafe was and what it will be, or like going forward, what it will be. So I'm going to go to the live stream version of me. So you get the nice background music and get the nice subtle tones. You know what I mean? So we haven't checked out our Big Bear Bald Eagles in a while. Mr. Shadow, Mrs. Jackie. But before we do that, let's get that graphic going, chat, what we used to do and what we called the Daily Espresso. Let's get into it, guys. So Jackie and Shadow, the amazing Big Bear Bald Eagles. If y'all don't know, if you're kind of new here from Fat Camp, we've been following Jackie and Shadow in the Big Bear Force in I believe Northern California, and Jackie and Shadow, they're bald eagles, and they've been trying for a while to have babies, and every time they had their laid eggs, they just didn't happen. To my knowledge, I believe Shadow was 12 and Jackie is 10. And they finally were able to have eaglets. And we'll go ahead and I'll get into that so you can show you guys what the babies are looking like now. So they're sitting there chilling. I'm going to try and back it up a little bit so the sun and in the eye. So yeah, they are getting massively big compared to what they were even a week ago when we were first checking them out. And as you can see, they still got the food behind them, and they're sitting there sleeping. So let's crack it in one more time. I'm sorry, chat. Here we go. So again, this is a very, very predominant moment for Jackie and Shadow. And, I'm glad to see the babies are growing. Unfortunately, they did lose one of them in the last snowstorm they had. So, that was definitely sad for the community that pays attention and watches this. But, the fact that they have two live and well growing, I'm assuming this is going to be the last snowstorm of the year because we're almost into April. So, hopefully from here they'll be good to go. Something else to look at, chat. 31,000 people watching this right now. 31,000 people, just fathom that, So that's how important this is and how big of a deal this is to people, So that's just kind of one of those things I wanted to share. And not really a good look because of the sun right now. But, it's just kind of one of those things where you wish the other one survived and they had all three. But, it's nature, right? Things happen in nature that we can't control. And, all we want to do is just hope for the best, and animals and humans think of things differently. That's the thing we have to remember. So, I think I saw a question for me once. Roxy's in chat. Good morning, Roxy. Hope all is well. Hopefully, things are a lot less chaotic as they were on Milkers last night. And we'll definitely. Did you see the poll? The poll question? I did not see the poll question, but that's beside the point. All right, so daily horoscope. I know Miss Bean normally reads this, but I'm going to try and get her energy to do it. As an Aries born on March 26th, which, yes, Aries are the best horoscope, will be a bright individual. Although they appear capable, they possess a deep insecurity that can create emotional distress. They are unlikely to reveal their vulnerabilities, preferring to solve their own problems. So, as an Aries, I can definitely say, I don't like help. I'm someone I'd rather just do it myself. And, sometimes you do have to ask for help. And it sucks. And I'm learning that as I get older, right? As I get older, I'm learning that I can't do everything that I used to do, right? As they say, I'm no spring chicken, right? So, especially working on cars and, all that and just doing stuff, it's kind of hurts the pride and the ego a little bit, chat, if I can be honest with you, to ask for help, and, I feel like a man should be able to do certain things for himself because that's kind of being a man and just owning up to your responsibilities. Obviously, society changes and the definition of what a man is changes and all that, so kind of hard to hold that same standard. Fox, how old am I? So at the end of the month, I turned 39 years old. And in the internet, I'm basically in my grave at this point. But yeah, like I said, I just feel being a man is just doing some stuff yourself, using your hands, figuring it out, taking care of things. But again, the lower generation thinks a little bit differently, and that's okay, right? Because you can't want for different people in a different generation, if that makes sense. Like, chivalry to me is dead. There's no such thing as chivalry anymore. The nuclear family is basically no longer a thing, if you think about it. Obviously things change for that, but that's something I always wanted to achieve in my life, is a nuclear family. And, that's not going against anyone's value system. It's just what I wanted, but obviously people want for their own life, and people make their own decisions and live how they want to live. I'm not here to judge, right? It's not my decision. I don't care how people live. Just, let me do me, right? But yeah, I don't know, chat. Here's the funny part, right? Here's the funny part. I played that game, Cyberpunk, and I was like, this would be kind of cool to live in a world like Cyberpunk, like that kind of thing. But then when you realize what all's involved in that world and all the extra shit that goes on in that world, you're kind of like, maybe not. I don't know. I kind of joked around with my wife one time when I was building my character. And if you ever played the game, you can do the genitalia, right? Like sizes and all that. And I told her, I was like, yeah, so the bigger my thing is, the dumber I am. That's what I told her. And I was just doing like stupid shit just to kind of, play into it. It's kind of funny. But, all right, let's get into this day in history. So in 1827, German composer Beethoven dies in Vienna. So Beethoven was one of those dudes that was very influential in classical music. And I believe he was the deaf one. Like, he couldn't hear, but he could like feel the music. You know what I mean? And to be able to write music like he did for orchestra, and especially in the technology they have, like for deaf people, I doubt they could really do anything for deaf people back then. I don't know. But to be able to do that and play the music and understand pitch, understand tone, it's wild to me to be able to do that when you're deaf, like completely deaf. That's wild. 1979, Egypt and Israel signed a peace treaty brokered by Jimmy Carter, ending decades of conflict. Now I know Jimmy Carter is revered as one of the most, I'm not going to say controversial presidents, because he really didn't do anything controversial. I think it was his lack of action that made him controversial, if that makes sense. Lame duck, I think, is the term that some people use. He was an interesting guy. He recently passed away at 100 years old. Is what it is. He definitely lived a long life. He got up there. And, yeah, shout out Jimmy Carter, for at least doing that. And then, 1997, 39 members of Heaven's Gate cult are found dead in a mass self-delete in California. So, I followed Heaven's Gate cult. There's actually still a dude, Sawyer, who has a YouTube channel. He left the cult at because they were doing the Beyond Human series, right? I think it was like 8 or 9 VHS tapes, and he was actually in that series, Beyond Human. And before that, they did 2 other videos. Planet Earth is about to be recycled. Your only chance for survival is to leave with us. That was literally the entire title of the tape. And then there was one other one I forgot. But there's actually a YouTube channel. I'm going to pull it up real quick. I'm not going to play anything, obviously. But I could go into hours about Heaven's Gate, bro, because I got fascinated with these people. And it was just wild to me. This is it right here. So this is the database, right? And this is what I was saying. Planet Earth about to be recycled. Your last chance to survive is to leave with us. And then this was another video he made. And then these were all 39 people that they found dead. These were their last testaments or last message to the people, right? And then this is the final video they made called Doe's Final Exit, obviously, right? This is him talking about whatever. And then just different videos. I don't want to go into it because it's probably boring to a lot of you people. But yeah, like all their videos they ever did and put out. This is the Beyond Human series I was talking about. All they ever done and put out is here. And if you watch this and just look at it from an educational perspective, not for theology, but just educational perspective, trying to understand, because they had doctors, they had lawyers, they had professors, they had a dude whose sister was an actress in Star Trek, right? He joined the cult. And just how they were as people and how they lived and the decisions they made and how they made them is wild to me. Like, I just don't get how you could really think that they could really figure that out, because, like, yeah, I could go on hours. This isn't the place for that. I know people talking about Mad Cafe. This would be the perfect episode for the Mad Cafe, honestly. But I know a lot about these people. Marshall Applewhite, that was, Doe. And then Barty Nettles, that was T, right? The female. And again, sorry, I could go on for hours about this. I know way too much about these people. But one last thing I will say is they weren't like Jonestown or anything. They did this on their own volition. They were free to leave at any point. He didn't try and keep anyone there. Obviously there was some manipulation tactics, right? Because that's in every cult. They do that in every cult. But if people wanted to leave, you let them leave. And there was actually people that when they left and they did this, they actually uninstalled their Minecraft game because they still felt connected and they felt that they made the wrong decision. And the dude who still does videos, Sawyer, he still feels connected to them, and he still runs like live streams. You know what I mean? He runs live streams, talks about it, whatever. So, all right. I'm sorry, chat. Let me get off this subject. This ain't the cafe, but brewed for your brain, useless facts, right? The day on Earth isn't exactly 24 hours, right? So it's actually 23 hours, 46 minutes, and 4 seconds. We round up to 24 hours because the Earth's orbit around the sun shifts our position slightly each day. Beans has showed up. Good morning, Miss Beans.
Good morning. How's it going?
Oh, it's good. Real good. Oh man, where are we at? Oh my God, they did an update. Now I don't know how to get to there we go. Because they used to have like the grid at the top, right? Now the grid's gone, so I can't do that anymore. I just went on like a 10-minute tangent on cults and the Heaven's Gate cult because I know all about it. I was just going on for like 10 minutes. Yeah, they don't like me anymore.
So you're talking about cults, but why is that exactly, Ken?
Because our brand new docket team, shout out Carini and Sterling, right? That joined the other two, Seek and Brad the Don. Anyways, they put this day in history, 1997, 39 members of the cult Heaven's Gate was found self-deleted in the mansion in San Diego, California.
Gosh darn, I didn't know that it was that late. I don't know, like people keep hearing about the Heaven's Gate, like even to this day, like it was one of the most prolific, like
yep.
cult deletions of our time.
Yep. And real quick, I showed them the YouTube channel because they have someone is still running that YouTube channel. They have all the videos they ever posted. It's called Heaven's Gate Database, and it shows the initiation videos. It shows the last video. It shows the training video, learning video, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's wild.
I think the most interesting thing is that somebody is still running the YouTube. Somebody is still running the website. If you go to the website, it just looks so... It's kind of like a capsule, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of the 90s.
Exactly. Like, you don't really... what is that theory, Grim? It's like the dead internet theory where like the internet back in the day used to be so vast, like you can go anywhere, you can retrieve any information. But now like the internet is so linear, like you can go to one website or the other, but it's not really branching out like it used to be.
Yep.
I think that's what it's called, dead internet theory.
Yeah. I'm gonna show the chat real quick. I'm gonna share the screen with you. Yep, so this is the Heaven's Gate website, as you can tell. Literally, this screams 90s all day long, right? And the funny part is they have all their transcripts right here, everything they've ever written right here. Like, everything you need to know about the cult is right here. And they have the red alert flashing because of the Hale-Bopp comment, right? And if y'all didn't know, let me do my last little spiel right here. The Hale-Bopp comment is what Doe told them what their mothership was falling behind. So they had to self-delete and put down their vehicles, which is under their human bodies. And then their spirits would ascend to that ship. And then they would fly out behind the Hale-Bopp comet. And that's kind of where all that came from.
So real quick, Karini Rue with the $10. Good morning, beautiful Beans and Ken. And
Morning.
Then Huge Joss with the Heaven's Gate, $5. Heaven's Gate was a poor sponsorship decision on Nike's part.
Yeah, because of the famous, I think it was like the Nike Dream shoes that they wore. You know, people actually have those shoes on eBay and they sell for like $400.
Really?
People have those shoes like in mint condition, not theirs that they wore, but just that shoe in particular, and they put it on eBay and it sells. And yeah, I was telling
Yeah, no, continue, sorry.
No, just real
We
quick.
still have to get used to the
Yeah, the
lag.
delay. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But
Mm.
last thing I'll say, and then I'll give it to you is there's actually a dude named Sawyer who still runs a website or a YouTube channel, and he goes live and talks about all this shit. Like only like 5 or 6 people watch him, but like he does this shit for fucking hours. Like this is his life. So
Gosh darn. Real quick, just because I
yeah, go
it's
ahead.
funny,
Go
but
ahead.
at the same time, it's really bad. Right of center left just wrote brings a new meaning to just do it. Yikes.
Hey,
Something else that I was going to mention is like it's not that. Wait, I just let down my hair and I need to make sure I don't look like a crazy banshee or something. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say that it makes sense that people would do that because there's a bunch of people that like the macabre, the strange, and the weird, right? Like for example, I think there was one moment where you and I were talking and you said, "Hey, like let's talk about like something that I used to have interest in, but my wife said no." And I was like, "Okay, what is it?" And you said, "I wanted to buy like serial killer memorabilia." And I'm
yep,
like, okay, like I've heard that before. Like it's not that weird to me. Plus, like I always watch true crime, so like I understand where you're coming from.
yeah,
But there's a lot of people that are like, oh, why would you want to have that in your house? Like some people think that there's like energy attached to like different items, and they feel like you bring that energy along with you. But
yeah,
I don't. There's like different ways to think about that because there's some things that I do believe that have energy. Like for example, if somebody's passed on maybe and they were like super attached to an item, maybe only because I want it to be a thing because I don't know, like I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like being haunted at least once would be like a cool experience. It would be horrifying, but a cool experience. We should go to a haunted house.
My wife wouldn't let me because she would say I'd bring some spirit with me, and then
Okay, so she's one of
yeah,
those people that's like energy will
oh
attach
yeah.
to you if you go to these bad places.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So yeah, I'm seeing some love in the chat. The brother survive. Welcome, appreciate you. Thank you for being here again. And then someone else, where you at? Nick Jones. Hey Ken, I made a point yesterday and felt afterwards I was wrong after you mentioned what I said. Respect, you're doing good. Appreciate it, Nick Jones. And again, like we're gonna have a lot of new viewership from Fat Camp. It just is what it is. But
Mhm.
you guys have to remember this isn't your typical LCU show, right? The whole idea of this is to be, the coolest, the calmest, and the chillest. It's just a good way to bring in the morning, wake up with the LCU as we redirect you and pass you into Madhouse, right? I know it's kind of an oxymoron, but it's just a good way to just wake up, see what happens, and just talk about shit and get different perspectives. That's literally all this is, and we try and do it in a different kind of way. So we appreciate everyone being here. Sterling, is it too late for LolCow True Crime? Yes. You can ask Grim how many people brought up LolCow True Crime, and he wanted to.
I'm going to
There it is.
do something.
Beautiful.
Do something like low-cal true crime.
I meant I was gonna say something super edgy, but I can't say it, so I'm just gonna say something. I'm gonna grim myself. There you go.
Bro, that's
You hear how his mouth is full?
Oh, yeah.
He's been eating the Bucky's like cashew like sweet nuts for like the entire time that he was setting up.
I can't.
I love salty nuts in my mouth.
They're not salty, they're sweet.
They're also salty.
Suck on
good.
my chocolate salted balls. Yeah. So, what do you have in the cup, Miss Beans?
What do I have in the cup? I actually have a little bit of iced coffee that I added extra like creamer to. Because I don't know what it is about iced coffee. I think it's because the temperature of the coffee doesn't allow a lot of the sugar to dissolve. But it's not sweet enough for me sometimes. So I have to add a little extra just to make sure that it can really kill that craving I have.
And have you ever tried the like the classic syrup?
Classic syrup? I don't think so. I have to look into that.
It's literally just it's like the flavors, like the flavor syrups, like you get like a hazelnut something, and they do the flavor of hazelnut, right? Classic syrup is literally just like sweetened syrup, kind of for like iced coffee instead of sugar, so it kind of mixes and melts in.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
cool. Yeah,
I mean it's
I'll
super.
definitely look into that.
It's not flavored, right? It's literally just like putting sugar in hot coffee. You're just putting syrup in a cold coffee. So
Rogan Bits said I heard if I off myself I'll be teleported to fat camp.
It's not true.
Not true.
So let me ask you something, Beans. We're getting back into the Daily Espresso because I said, we got to get back to basics because that's what made Cafe, right? But since you're here, do you think everyone is over it?
Everybody's over fat camp?
Yep. Because the title I put, everyone seems over it. Because literally, when I was watching the streams yesterday, the little bit that I could catch or just listening while I was at work, the energy is just not there like it used to be. I just feel like it's almost like a trip, right? When you're on like a long trip and you're getting to like the last day or two and you're kind of like, all right, I've done everything I want to do. I just want to go home. Are you getting that kind of vibe right now?
Basically, everybody wants to be home. Everybody wants to be with good internet. Everybody wants to be in their own beds. People don't want to deal with other people's emotions, actions, things of that nature. I think after the whole, let's just say the wing situation, a lot of people felt like the fun and the energy was sucked out of fat camp. I know that today is going to be a much needed, positive, wholesome moment for a lot of people. Maybe after the wedding, it would be different.
Yeah.
But so far, that's how a lot of people are feeling. It's just, how can we get back to up here when it went all the way down here, right?
Yeah.
Plus, it's just like, sorry. Plus, it's just like, kind of realizing how each host feels about each other. For example, like I don't feel like anybody hates me per se because I don't really give anybody a reason to. I'm very
hate you,
quiet.
Beans.
I hate you too.
Yeah.
I can't even say it with a straight face.
I know. I couldn't either.
Just because of I can't tell because I can't see. I'll see it on 5 minutes later on the stream.
There you go.
Because of my anxiety, in general, like I always feel like people don't like me. But I know that people don't hate me because I don't give people a reason to hate me, or at least I don't think so.
Yeah.
Obviously, Grimm has much love from all sides because if you don't love him at this point, you need to go. You need to leave.
Agreed.
Do you remember that meme? Grimm. The meme. Do
Grim
the meme.
Can't.
You need to leave. That meme.
God.
You see things behind the scenes that are just like, people are over it. What else? Yeah, people are just over fat camp. People want to go home. And then listening to like some of the plans that are coming up. Because somebody said something to me yesterday that's like, oh, you need to get ready for this. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? The last couple days I thought we were just gonna chill, but what do you mean? Plus, like I think the all night streams really like suck the energy out of people. So like they don't sleep for a long period of time, and then they have to wake up and do their show. They don't have the energy to. Sometimes it's a little hectic, and then they also have to be expected to keep up the energy to do other stuff. Like
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people are just done and over.
Yeah, I think the You good?
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
Some people. No, there's just people in the chat like chiming in about stuff that doesn't correlate with the things that I'm talking about. So
Let
I'm
it
gonna
ride.
try to
Let
be...
it ride. Just let it ride.
Okay.
I was just gonna say that, like, I don't get that last night sleep stream. I don't understand why, but again, I'm not there now. But people seem to like them. I'm not gonna lie, like that one, like the Sunday night one when I was there before I left. Yeah, it was just going. Oh, it was going. So I mean, I'll give them that. People seem to like it. And the weird thing is when they plan things out, it's not as much like fan support and engagement, unless compared to like just sitting around bullshitting. And I think to Keen, that's almost like an oxymoron. Because he has to be constantly doing something and engage and have a topic and talk and keep a flow going versus just sitting there BSing, it's kind of like, okay, Like, what do I do now?
Exactly. So another thing is like I feel obligated to be on the sleep streams because obviously like it's on live. You get more of an audience to bring over to your side of the LCU. But it's just Grim and I do so much throughout the day that we get so tired. For example, yesterday was one of the first days that I truly felt that we got to hang out. We went to a Mexican restaurant nearby and we kind of got like a little piece of home, if that makes sense, because, we're used to speaking Spanish in our households and our mothers and things like that. So just like being able to sit down and speak Spanish with people and like see the colors and everything and eat some Spanish food, like that kind of grounded us just a little bit.
Good.
We got to talk with one of the waiters and he's like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" And we're like, "Oh, we're from Florida." And he's like, "No, where are you guys from?" And Grim, obviously, he's like, "Oh, I'm Colombian." And the guy looks at me and he's like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm Dominican." He's like, "Oh, you guys here for work?" And Grim and I just, the world stopped for a few minutes. It was probably a few seconds, but to us, it felt like a few minutes. And we're just like, yeah, something like that. Because obviously we don't want to say, oh, like, I still don't feel comfortable with the whole, I'm a content creator. Because I just feel like I show up to live streams and talk.
You're more than that. You're more than that.
Yeah, but we just look at him. We're like, yeah, something like that. But then the implication that Grim had was, how did you put it?
So if your first question is, oh, are you here for work? That implies that the only reason why you would be here is just for work, not even for like relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
So it says a lot about the area.
Yeah. And
I mean, I like the food and stuff.
so we got a super chat from Miss Jess. I believe that one's for you, Miss Beans.
For me,
Miss Jess, yeah.
Miss Jess, Beans, I feel that I always think I'm unliked. LOL, anxiety sucks. Anxiety do suck. I think that I've surpassed a lot of my anxiety just being more out there, because if you ever spoke to anybody from like my high school, middle school, elementary school, I've pretty much been the same, just quiet. I've never really opened myself up to like strange people. Like I would open myself up to people that I would trust. But even then, relationships in my life have been very fickle because I'm not the most out there. I'm not the most extroverted person. So whenever I would build strong relationships with people, it seemed like they would put a lot of importance into being more popular or being with people that had cars or being with people that could offer more than I ever could. Because the thing that I thought that I could offer was just a lot of emotional support and loyalty. So I can offer you, if you're down in the dumps, I'll try to make you feel better as much as possible. If you have a bad day, I'll try to stick with you. But in high school, I wasn't the type of person that had a car. I took the bus. I couldn't hang out all the time because I was helping out my mom, like things like that. Some people don't value as much as others. Doing this, even my mom looks at me and she's like, you're a little different. Like now you can talk on the phone without feeling like, I still feel anxiety when I talk on the phone because
No, you don't.
I feel
You're
like
lying
I'm
to
gonna
me.
mess up.
You're lying to me.
Oh my goodness. Ken, don't say I'm lying.
Bro,
This
you're
is my
fucking
personal
lying.
experience.
You're fucking lying, right? When I was there was no social anxiety. There was no sweat. There was no BO. There was nothing. All right? I don't want to fucking hear it. Huge ass with the 5. All right.
I was a little stinky. Okay.
I didn't smell it. Are any of Glammy's family and friends coming to the wedding today?
I don't think so. So this
Fuck
is
'em.
very much I'm drifting.
Jesus.
Fuck them.
Fuck your friends, fuck your family. I would like to consider us kind of like, this is very cringe. I would like to consider us kind of her friends and family. I know that we barely know each other, but we got to see a lot of Glammy during this trip.
I didn't see any Glammy during that trip.
You didn't see, no. She was mostly, off doing her own thing, but when she was here, she would be
I'm
fun
just talking
Glammy, getting excited for her wedding. But yeah, I truly, Glammy's like an older sister to me. if that makes sense.
That's fair.
Because sometimes you will get annoyed by your older sister, but in the end, you still love your older sister, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can recognize Glammy's faults and Glammy's strength. Am I very cut off at the top, Grim? Sorry, Keemstar's talking to Grim and it distracted me. But yeah, Glammy's cool. Glammy's cool. It's just she's with a group of people that sometimes can make her seem like she's not cool, you know?
Nah, I'm
Just
with you.
like, yeah, because I wish that Glammy could talk more. I wish that Glammy could show herself more. It kind of reminds me of me, but a little bit older.
Yeah, so,
But when it comes to the wedding, no friends, no family other than us, the LCU family.
beautiful.
It's going to be very reserved, I believe. But she's happy, and that's all that matters. She just wants her wedding with her husband, future husband. And
I mean, at this point, this.
they're basically married.
I mean, it's schematics at this point, right? It's they're married, right? It's just they're making it official right now, today, whatever. I mean, like when me and my wife were engaged, I still call her my wife or whatever, you know. And like the day of, I'm like, "You ready to be Mrs. Ken?" You know. So real quick, 2 comments I wanted to talk about. Rogan Bit said, both Ken and Bean struck me as quiet, rational types. I wish they had more viewers because they deserve 1 to 3K streams at this point. That's what Cafe's supposed to be. Cafe's supposed to be rational thinking and looking at this from a logical, rational standpoint and being critical of what you see, right? So that's something that I wanted to do, and was hoping that the way this show is, it brings in a different audience than those that like the drama and the yelling and all that shit, right? So that was kind of the goal of this. And then people were saying that, like, yeah, like, phone anxiety is a thing. Phone, like, if you're friendly with someone or know someone, it's different. I get that, but I feel like, how can I say this right? Practice makes perfect, and the only way to get over a fear is to put yourself in it, right? Because you're not going to get over a fear avoiding things. So, believe it or not, I used to have a fear because I somewhat still have like a speech impediment. And I was in speech class from 2nd grade to the 9th grade, all throughout
Really?
school. I had a very bad stutter. And that's kind of why I talk the way I talk, because I slow myself down so I can get it all out, right? Sometimes my brain works faster than I can say the words, so I get like a disconnect, if you could say that. But one thing that helped me a lot, and just helped me get over, I'm not gonna call it fears, because I'm not really afraid of anything. To get over the hump, I did public speaking classes while I was in college, and that's helped me more than anything I could even think of, because you'd be there and you have a speech or you have to talk about something in front of like 100 and some odd people. It really helped get the nerves out, and they teach you different techniques to help you get over it and all that. So, but that was the best thing that ever happened to me. And then I kind of just became, wherever I went, the center of attention, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. So whenever I tell people, like, the best way to get over your fears is to face them head on, because that's what works for me. So for example, I'm still gonna have my fear of heights. I think I'm never going to get over that, because even when I look at a video of somebody like jumping off and it's like first person, I get that feeling in like the pit of my stomach. I don't know if you ever felt that before.
yeah.
Like, it feels like your organs are flipping over.
Yep.
I don't think I'll ever get over the fear of heights in general, but I wouldn't mind, like, I said at least once in my life I want to jump out of a plane, right? Like, do the skydiving shit.
Yeah.
Like, at least once in my life I'll do that, because I have fears, but I'm also like an adrenaline junkie, sort of. Not like super extreme, but like in the middle. Like, I love roller coasters. I love zip lining when I did that. Just in general, just doing things in order to get over your fears is something that I like doing. I like, just going back on what somebody says, that we're like rational, like calm people. The past couple days have not done me justice when it comes to that statement, because obviously when you put people in like the worst experience that they possibly can. Like they're overstimulated, they're stressed out. Things can happen, and things definitely happened for me that I basically crashed out, right? But I hope my voice is going out. But I hope that people don't take one experience and like just generalize who I am as a person because of it, because I feel like I can offer much more, and I've showed much more than just that one experience.
Yeah.
Some people are saying ziplining is better than roller coasters. It depends on what roller coaster. If you guys ever go to Universal Studios, there's like a couple of good ones. There's one at Busch Gardens that's like in Tampa, I think. But Busch Gardens has one called Shikra. I want to take Grim on Shikra so bad, but he refuses to do so. Would you ever do it with me, love?
He can't.
Ikra. That's the one that goes really high and then it stops and then you're
it's the
sitting there
one-
hanging and then you finally drop at some random moment, right?
Yeah, so you go all the way up. You go straight for a second. You can see all of Tampa for a minute, and then it like hangs you over a little dip. It hangs you there for a second, and then all of a sudden you just straight down. I love it.
Man. I'm
You'll sit
I'm
on
a
it.
pussy, man. Hey, I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know, I'm a pussy when it comes to roller coasters.
You did really good with ziplining though.
Oh, ziplining was one thing. I disassociated immediately. I was just doing things.
Okay.
Deadass.
Please.
Yeah, no, straight up. I was just holding on to it, and I was like, "Yep, if I die, I die. It is what it is."
Yep.
All my fears just drowned away, and I was just a husk of what I was. Yeah, I feel like the same thing would happen then if the ride is long enough, where I'm just like sitting there and just contemplating life. I don't know. I can't give you a direct answer now. I feel like if we were there at the moment, and something. I don't know. It has to be something very motivating for me to do it. Because last time it was because I was watching freaking cancer women do it. So I was just like, man, you know, they got nothing.
That's
much to
not
live for.
why. Don't lie to the people.
No, deadass. It was because they didn't have much to live for, and it gave me like a little bit of like inspiration. But at the same time, I was
But it
just
was
like,
also last minute. Literally,
It was last minute.
We
Yeah,
were
you're right.
hanging out. It was one of the weekends where you slept over at my place, and I woke you up because my god sister, she calls me up last second. She's like, hey, so she does a lot of things for women with cancer. There's like an organization that's really cool over there in Florida. She said, hey, we have 2 people drop out of this event. They don't do returns, so would you and Grim like to come over and do some ziplining? It was really last minute, and I was like, yeah, like even I didn't really think about it. I thought it was a fun experience, so I didn't think twice. I was like, hell yeah, like free ziplining trip. Grim was in the bathroom, and I'm like, she says like, you need to go now. Like this is a right now type of thing. So I'm like banging on the door while Grim is in the bathroom. And he's like, what do you want? And I'm like, do you want to go ziplining? Like if we have to go, it would be like right now. And he's like, yeah, sure. And I think he didn't think about it. He just said, yeah. Once we were there, that's when you started disassociating just a little bit. And I find it so funny because I'm very small. I'm little. Usually when people see me, they're like, oh, I want to protect you at all costs. But since I was fine, like everybody was like, we don't care about beans. But Grim being, you know, the dude that he is, being like so like, I don't know, you seemed out of it. So a lot of the ladies with cancer were just like coddling you so much.
Bro.
And I was like,
Good job, bro.
It's just jump.
bro,
Do a flip. I'm just kidding.
the jumping wasn't the issue. It was just the fact that I was so far high up. I felt super uncomfortable because I've never done anything like this. Like I'm sheltered as fuck. Like I'm not. People think I'm joking when I say that. I have never done anything in my life outside. Like, what server is grass on? I don't even know. Like, I fucking. That's how little of an understanding I have of the outside world. I just stayed inside my entire life.
Beautiful. So someone mentioned the new trading card I'm going to show real quick. If I share screen, can you see it, Beans, or no? Like you can't see it at all, right?
I'll see it on the stream a couple minutes later, but I can't
right.
see it like in the moment.
Got you.
Unfortunately.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put the link in.
But
I'm gonna put the link in chat. Can you click on it if I put the link in chat? All right. Yeah. So just
Mm-hmm.
literally go to that link, bro.
Ken, you're supposed to put the cafe link.
No, I'm just showing the card off, bruh. Look at that.
Yeah, but if somebody wants to buy it, you got to get some money out of it. I'm just kidding.
Can you put the cafe link in? I'm sorry. That's wild.
Yeah.
That, bro. So
I can't believe that that's a card now. I thought it was a joke when I first saw it on Reddit.
So they're starting LolCow TCG movement, right? So limited release cards highlighting the craziest LolCow moments found anywhere on the internet. Grab this Keeman Wings card today. So that's wild. They made that into a card, bro. Like that's something. That's a something. Oh no, that's gonna go down in a moment in history in the LCU. I promise you that.
It already has, to be honest.
No, I'm saying like after
What?
like for like a while down the road now. That's always gonna be remembered.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it already has, just because of the vast majority of like commentary channels that have spoken about this. Like, for example, I don't know if I talked about this already on Cafe, but I watch Chud Logic just to go to sleep sometimes
Yep.
because I need somebody talking for long periods of time. And the fact that even he made a video on like what happened, it's very interesting hearing somebody's perspective on something and actually being there and knowing all the background knowledge of what they're talking about, because then you're like, okay, this is true, but this, you don't really get what's going on. And then like everybody in the comment section is like, this is scripted, this is fake. And I'm like, why would we script something so horrible? But anyways, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I made it into a Chud Logic video, even though I'm not there. I just did like the camera work, but I'm like, darn, like I did pretty good for this camera work. I was following them. I was doing, even though it's still horrible event.
Yeah. I don't know.
But still cool.
Yep. So on LolCow Live last night, they were talking about, I guess, Wings getting into anger management therapy, and he's like going to pay for it, and he found it himself, and he's trying to take accountability. I mean, we'll see.
Good.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know at what point it'll be enough, because again, that's not my call to make. But I just want the best for Wings and Kelly. Whatever that is defined as, that's it. And that's all I'm going to say. My take on the fight, real quick, Rogan Bits, I want to know Ken's take on the fight. So my take is, like, I fought my friends before, and we're still friends. So, I mean, I get it. Tensions were high, and, you know, there was a certain aura that was still there. And you already know what I'm talking about. A 300-pound fucking Razorback fucking going all through that motherfucker. But what I will say is, first, Jordy is a big heavy man, right? Big heavy man. And when I was trying to hold him back, I had Kelly next to me, and I knew that if I like really tried to like stop him, she would have you know, probably like hit something or whatever, right? It's hard to really talk about right now because of what happened. But again, with what was happening, I tried my best. And then when you see me stop and look down, it's because the table was right there. And I couldn't just keep going, or else I would have tripped and landed on both of them and Boogie, and it would have just been all fucked up. That's why I tell people, like, I saw some commentary channels saying that I should have done more or whatever. Like, y'all weren't there. Y'all don't know the space and how limited it was. And I said this before. Like, let's just say I hauled off and I just drop his ass, right? I catch him in the chin as hard as I humanly can, and he just drops. Then what? I'm getting arrested and I'm trespassed and I'm sitting in a Texas jail right now. Like, it sucks. It really does suck what happened, but what am I supposed to do? Like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it sucks. I wish it didn't happen. But, you know, I'm not going to put myself at a point where I know I'm going to jail, you know, because they wouldn't give two fucks about me if I was in jail. You know what I mean? Like, and this is nothing against anyone, but it's not going to be like, all right, guys, let's raise Ken's legal fund. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen. Like, I'd be banned and all that shit and ostracized. Like, yeah, Ken, you can't be punching people, can't be putting hands on people. You know what I mean? And I could try to argue it into the ground, but I did the best thing that I knew at the moment. And I'm not going to say who, but if you look at the timing, and they did a frame by frame of the timing, from the time he's facing this way, turns, and what happens to Kelly, it's all within a second. All of it is within 1 second. So, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. You can go back and drop it down 20 to 0.25 speed. You can do all this analysis and all this shit. But unless you were there and saw it and understand all the moving pieces and what was going through my head within like a 2 second split time, it is what it is.
There is a dono from Midnight Rider as well that I think is geared towards you.
Ken, why you hate Becky so much? You know it's an act. Look, bro. You know why I hate Becky so much? I really feel that there is no integrity in her. I've said this. After that 5-hour stream that she did, she lost all credibility, in my opinion. Especially when she tried to come back. Like, you're going to do that. You're going to bite the hand that feeds you and then try to come back and think shaving your head is just going to forgive everything. Because let's just swap. Let's swap me and Becky. And let's say I did all that. I'd be banned. I'd be shunned. I'd be shit-talked. And I'd be forgotten about. And then let me come back to Keem like 2 days later, begging. Like, hey, I'll shave my beard, I'll shave my eyebrow, I'll shave my head, bro. You really think that's going to do something? No, it's not. I have nothing to say to her. I gave her kudos for the time she was, you know, two days our manager. I gave her kudos for what she wanted to tell me as far as advice, because I do think it's helped me. But at the same time, when you make decisions to put yourself in a certain type of light, and then you realize that light ain't what you thought it was going to be, so you try to come begging back, you have no backbone and you have no integrity because you took a step forward. You learn that the grass wasn't greener on the other side. Then you try to come back and think shaving your head's going to fix it. Fuck that. No. And if you didn't see the stream yesterday, the type of person I am is if I have nothing to say to you, I will say nothing to you. I can coexist, but I'm not going to say anything to you. You can ask anybody in that fucking house. The 4 days I was there, I did not say one word to her. Mm-hmm. Like, she came up to me and shook my hand and she was like, "Are we good?" I was like, "Yeah, cool." But after that, all right, sorry, I said 2 words to her. Yeah, and cool. After that, I didn't say a word to her. Because again, I have nothing to say to her. Why am I going to waste my energy and my breath to come up with some stupid shit, right? Because I'm on camera saying how I feel about her. I'm on camera telling my audience, right, how I feel and things going on in my head about her. How would I look being nice to her, hugging up on her, saying, "Hey, Becky, you doing good," blah, 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 being all friendly after I've just shit her like a motherfucker on my show? How would I look as a person? I'd be the one lacking integrity. I'd be the one lacking a backbone. I'm not that person. If I say it, I believe it, and I'm going to live it. That's who I am as a person. And no one will be able to take that away from me. No one. So, Becky, if you're watching, if you're back, you're back. I have nothing to say to you. And it's not because I hate you. It's not because I don't like you. I just have my feelings about you and what you did, and you tried to beg to come back. I have my feelings on that I voiced. But again, I have nothing to say to you. So, take that however you will. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So the other thing is that people are saying like, "Oh, like it's fake. Like her personality is fake online. Like, why can you hate her?" And it's just like, you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Like some people like to put on a persona for the internet, and then it's so like exaggerated. But there is kind of like what Grim says to me all the time. Whenever you say a joke, there is some truth to it. Whatever you put online, there is some truth to it as well.
Yeah.
So Becky has this big personality, and she might not be as dramatic or flinging things or crying and throwing herself on the floor like she does in the shows. But there is a sense of sort of entitlement that she has sometimes. And I'm not saying this to be a dick about it, but, you know, it's just something about people on the internet where you say something and they'll take it in such a bad way. It's like, I'm telling you something because it's true and I want you to recognize it and maybe you can do better. But I'm not being like, oh, you're an entitled little bitch. You're never going to get better. You're get out of here. Get out of my face. No, it's just like, she does have a sense of entitlement whenever she speaks. And sometimes it can rub people the wrong way. We can all work together, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be best friends, right? You can work with somebody and you can be cordial. You don't have to like people. And the fact that there are people on the internet that, sorry, I'm like salivating because I'm hungry. There are people on the internet that like want to force people to be friends. It's like, oh, but you work with this person. Oh, but you know, like this personality is fake. Yeah, but you don't know how they act in person. We finally met this person. We got to see who they are in real life. Even though it was like briefly, we can make our own decisions and we can say, hey, like, I don't really want to associate with this person much. They're on a different show. They're on a different channel. They can stay over here and we're going to stay over here. And that's like the most adult thing to do. Because if we just, I don't know, hate her, like actually hate her, and we go out of our way in order to make her life miserable, and then she goes out of her way to make our lives miserable. We already saw the freaking childish shit that was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, like, I'll throw your jacket in the lake, and then it's like, well, I'll throw your stuff in the lake, and then it's just going to be one-upping each other until like it all crumbles down. Nobody wins in the end because we all look like assholes on the internet.
Yep. And the way I see it is, I'm not going to waste my energy on something that I don't feel anything for. Because to hate something, you have to put energy towards it to hate it. I don't hate Becky. I just am indifferent. Midnight Rider with the 199. You mean exactly what Keemstar does with her. Look, bro. I don't speak for other grown-ass men. I only speak for me. You can go back to any cafe show when I'm talking about something, and I'll always say, I don't like speaking for other people. I'm just speaking for me. And the reason why I'm like that is because I don't want no one else to talk for me. I want to speak for myself. I'm a grown-ass man. I can speak for myself. And then Lily with the 10. Thank you, Lily. Gracious and beautiful. One comment I wanted to talk about was, where you at? Coffee Cult. But why tell her y'all are good if you aren't? I can't. So here's the thing. Wonder why I said that? So I'd be left alone. I didn't want the chance of like, you know, trying to like fix it or trying to figure it out. Because I don't know this woman from Adam. I don't know her. I just feel like I was like, all right, cool. And then if I just ignored her, act like she didn't exist, it would solve the problem. I mean, It is what it is. Say I don't have a backbone, whatever. But I'm not going to create useless tension for no fucking reason. I'm the type of person that if I can just not say anything to them, it's better for everybody. And that's what I was trying to do. So my bad.
Exactly.
And then
so there's also a dono from Seth Looks for the $4.99 saying Nightmare's biggest crime was not drawing enough money. Meanwhile, Wings and Becky will always get another chance. I don't know what to say about that.
I don't either.
So he did. So like I said, I think yesterday, people's value is based on how much money they can make. Their entertainment value in general, all that is calculated in a business person's mind like Keemstar in order to justify, like, should I give them another chance or not? He feels, this is just what I got from him. He feels like he was disrespected because he said over and over and over again, don't mess with the doll, don't mess with Roxy. If he says something twice, he's already done and over with it. He does not want, once he says it once, that's it. You should have listened the first time. That's just the type of person that Keemstar is. But when it comes to Becky and Wings, that situation, I think LolCow Live was always supposed to be about LolCows. I think a lot of people forgot that Wings and Boogie are LolCows because they were going through kind of a redemption arc. They were bringing in money. They were doing things the right way. But then this moment comes in like a freight train, and it's like, oh shit, we forgot that Wings is a LolCow, and now he's finally having his LolCow moment on LolCow Live.
Yep.
Plus, he's still Keemstar's friend, in a way. So either way, Wings of Redemption is going to get his redemption arc probably for the 5th time. Like we want to see him better. Like we don't want to see him just. I say we, but I'm speaking on behalf of Keemstar, unless he wants to come over and speak for himself. He's walking away with his coffee. Um, so in general, like when I say we, I mean the company. We as a company would probably want to see people get better than worse. Hopefully he can be a better person instead of going back, because people see something bad happen and they're like, oh, this person should leave the server forever. And it's like, leaving the server forever isn't really going to do anything. Would it be better for this person to actually get the help that they need, be a better person, hopefully never relapse again in their life, and maybe start a foundation of some sort?
Yeah.
Something like that. Like I think a lot of people focus more on the negative than the positive. Obviously, I'm still disgusted at the whole situation. I've made that very apparent to the people here and online. Kelly does not want to be seen as a victim. I'll respect that in a sense of like, I'm not going to call her a victim to her face, but I'm still going to say like, in this moment, you were a victim, but that does not classify you as a victim all the time. I'm sure that he doesn't do this all the time to you, but you have to recognize his faults. And if you're going to stay with him, you have to do everything you can in order for him to get better. He has anger management issues. You guys have to work on that together, because it's not only him having issues, it's also your marriage. Because if he's so comfortable, that's not cool. He has to learn to respect you, no matter if he feels like you're beneath him for being his wife or something. You guys have to be equal. No one is above the other person. You guys have to work on this together, not only yourself, but also your marriage in general.
I love you.
Huh?
It's been facts over there. I love you.
Well, because like that's the thing. Like if I have to get personal, I've been through so much. I'm trying not to cry. I've been through so much with multiple people in my life.
What are you, cat?
My 9 lives. I'm waiting on that last one. I've dealt with so much and a lot of bad people in my life. And there's been moments like when it initially happens, I'm like, I want this person to not be in this world anymore. But then slowly I realize, and I work on myself, and I work on like being introspective, and I'm like, okay, well, them not being in this world doesn't really fix anything. The only thing that I'll have in my mind is like, oh, this person is not here anymore. I'm not forced to interact with this person. But it would be better if this person could be a better person, and instead of not contributing to the world at all, they contribute in a positive way. You know, like if this person can get better, if they can be, I don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying, Grim?
I understand exactly what you mean. However, I disagree with you.
You disagree with me because you've went through a lot as well, but you are also the type of person that's like, if it burns, let it burn. Like you're.
Well, yeah, but look, like you also got to live. Well, this is also something I live by. It's a shame on me, right? And the shame on you shit, right?
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, go fuck yourself.
Pretty much, yeah. Once, like, there is a thing where, like,
I have no more coffee.
Let's say, for example,
Damn.
Insert random person here and me, right? There's a situation between a person and I, and they've screwed me over 3 times, and I'm still sticking around with them, and I'm still hanging out with them, and I'm still taking their word for whatever it is and whatnot. I don't think I'm doing the best for myself at that point. At that point, I'm at their bidding at every given moment, and I'm not that kind of person, and I'm sure Ken can agree to that too. Like, don't let anybody step over you like that, you know?
Nope. So real quick, BB Phil with the $5.99, I believe, euro. Hey Ken, I just wanted to say you absolutely did slow Wings down. At least, who knows what would have happened if you didn't. You use real strength. I tried to, bro. It again, just a lot was going through my head at once, and when I stopped and looked down, the table was right there, so I had to adjust fire from there. But real quick, Jay said, so I'm fake. Look, bro, you can say that if you want to. I'm not going to cause conflict is to cause conflict. So again, what is the positive of telling Becky and I just cuss her out and tell her off? There is no net positive for that. I'm wasting energy because I don't care enough to not, use that energy. Right. So that's why I just said that, because I knew that she would just walk away, would diffuse the situation, and then I just avoided her the rest of the time because, again, I have nothing to say to her. Call it fake if you want to. I don't give a fuck. Right. I didn't care enough. So,
yeah.
Fuck it.
In general, I know that a lot of people might disagree with my take, and that's completely fine. Like, this is I don't want to say the platform. This is the platform, actually. This is the platform, but this is also the channel in order to disagree with things and just, you know, move on with your lives, if that makes sense. Obviously, there's different scenarios. Everything is like a case-by-case basis. A lot of people are also talking about, like, he quit his meds, he was hungry, blah, blah, blah. I feel like there's no really an excuse for anything. But sometimes you do have to give a little bit of leniency, because you never know what's going through somebody's mind, what's been going on in the back burner. I know that you're moving up to the mic, Grim. What are you going to say?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, if you let's say in the spur of the moment, right? This is a huge hypothetical, by the way. You know I would never do this. Let's say I look at you directly in the eyes, right? Spur of the moment, I'm pissed off or something along those lines. I look you directly in the eyes, take a second to register who I'm looking at, and immediately push you.
That is inexcusable.
Exactly. Regardless of what state you're in, I don't care if you're drunk, high, seeing freaking demons with LSD.
Well, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying, like, this was just a build-up in general. Like, I would not give any excuse at all, but, like, you can tell that he was just aggravated in general. Especially, I can give a little bit more, I don't want to say leniency. This is hard. In general, you should never quit, especially in SSRI cold turkey. Never.
No.
Because there's people that have gone through, like, extreme, like, mental break because of things like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is what Wings did. He did not go through a mental break, but especially because I was behind the camera and I saw what happened firsthand. Like, I'm looking at the little viewfinder, I'm zooming in on people's faces and shit. The moment that you can tell that he's angry, he pushes her. The sound of her head hitting that table echoes through my mind every single day, just on loop. I always hear that thud. And that's why, like, whenever that happened, I messaged her right away and I was like, hey, go to a doctor because you hit your head really hard on a metal table. And that's the first thing I said. I was like, everything's going to be okay. You're fine, blah, 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 blah. What was I going to say after that? After that, I looked at his face whenever he did it and everybody's screaming at him. And when I say that I saw the exact look of bewilderment, that's what I saw. Because his eyes, whenever he did that and everybody's screaming at him like, yo, that's your fucking wife, bro. His eyes got wide.
Yeah, and he was looking around like he got deer in the headlights.
Exactly.
Energy.
Like, you can see his chest, like his breathing, his eyes got wide, and the way that he was like just so bewildered at what just happened, you can tell that he knew he did something wrong.
He was literally in that moment, he was trying to process what he just did. He's like, what the fuck did I just do?
Not only that, you did that to your wife. Not only that, it's captured on camera. Not only that, everybody's going to see you in a certain light. Like, bro, the amount of emotions in that moment was just...
Hold up. Beans acts like she was a victim. You guys don't know anything about fucking Beans, so don't start with that shit. First and foremost. All right?
It's a troll.
I don't give a fuck. No, I need to address that myself. No. You don't know anything about fucking Beans. You don't know the shit that she's been through.
The only victim here is a person that doesn't even want to be seen as a victim, and I can respect that. But in general, like... And in a way, I don't want to say that we're victims because that's such a harsh fucking word. But we were all there and we all experienced something. And that's like the fucking worst, not the worst part. Sorry, take that back. That is something that, like, a lot of people don't understand. Like, that happened during Fat Camp. Nobody expected that to happen during Fat Camp. Fat Camp already, I'm going to say it sucked. Fat Camp already sucked because there were so many expectations put on the table that were not met. Nobody really knew what we were doing. There were some parts that were good. There were some parts that were bad. That was one of the really bad moments. Now all the fun and, like, excitement and, like, everything else is sucked out of Fat Camp. Grim is doing so freaking much. Yesterday we took, like, one day to, like, go out and, like, have fun together and take a nap. We took, like, a 2-hour nap, and then we came back and we're like, okay, this is all good. And then every day we have to go on a stream and it's always the same people talking about Wings, talking about the situation. And has to repeat for the millionth time about the whole Becky shit, about the whole Wings shit, like he could have done more. This is not going to stop. And, like, people should, like, talk about like their quote unquote crimes, because that's what everybody thinks on the internet. Like everything is a crime. You could have done more. You could have done better. This is not going to stop in probably like a month maybe, depending on if there's like another big drama that's going to happen, and like everybody just, instead of focused on this, they're going to be like, Mike is like staring at me. I don't know if I'm saying something wrong. Or, oh, you're just staring off into the distance.
I can't. Karini Rue with the 5. I have to say it. Going cold turkey with SSRIs will not make you push your wife. I'm not a medical person. I don't know, but
Yeah. Did they teach you that in pharmacy, baby?
No.
Oh.
Again, like I said, I'm not saying, I think that, okay, I'll say one thing. I'll say a list of things, and then somebody will pick one thing and be like, okay, well, I'm going to take this, and now I'm going to say that this person meant just this. And it's like, no, that's not what I meant. So in general, if I have to say it for the millionth fucking time, Wings is not a good person. Hopefully he becomes a good person eventually. If not, I'm not going to say you should leave the server, because that's also a shitty thing for me to do. In no way am I going to look right or wrong in this situation. It's just going to be neutral. And
welcome to the internet, Beans.
welcome to the internet.
that's it.
No, it's like you know, I noticed like every time I have said you know, what Wings did was horrible, and he needs to be fired or whatever. It's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? You've always been trying to get rid of Wings. You know, he's what makes the show. And it's like, okay. But also I'll leave the door open a crack, and I really hope, you know, that Wings can fix himself and do better. And maybe there's a path for him to come back. What the fuck? You support women abuse? Like, you support domestic violence, right? It's like, everyone's so extreme. And, you know, we've done a poll 2 days in a row, and the audience is like split right down the middle. So you literally cannot win in that whole scenario.
Yeah, you never will.
Plus, like, the worst thing, like, I like we said millions of times for Keemstar, we would not want to be in his shoes, because everything is in the eyes of the internet. And let's just say that Wings leaves the server, then you look, if you said like you can never come back to the LCU, and he leaves the server, everybody would blame you.
Yeah, well, he's not in the server. I don't know if you guys know this. He was banned.
Yeah.
No, I mean like the server of life.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand the analogy. No, you're probably right.
Well, the thing is, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, right? Because, you know, people like to take the extreme opposite of anything you do to create some narrative that you're doing it wrong, you know. Lily with the 10, that is the problem with these situations, right? While Wings' actions suck, it isn't black and white. I just hope Wings can get better for the sake of him and Kelly.
Yeah. No, I like that. I left the door a little cracked open for return of Wings of Redemption. Excuse me, it's morning.
Yep.
And he's already doing steps to fix shit. So it's like, dude, if he's gonna take this so serious, then I need the audience to, you know, be happy about that. You know, LolCow Live from the very beginning has a lot of it's been about fixing people, right? Like Fat Camp, right? You know, I know if you're watching this stuff, it looks fucking ridiculous, the dumb shit we're doing for entertainment, but I can tell you, you know, Boogie, Wings, Mike, Zeta Ray, and Billy have all learned valuable lessons here. You know, and I think moving forward, I think they're all dedicated to trying to lose weight. So, you know, no one was expecting a miracle of someone losing 100 pounds here. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's a nice start, and puts people on the right path. And just doing an event like this and all the moving around that has to happen, you know, is way different than these guys like normal life. Like Boogie at his home, he doesn't have to move. Here, every day, you got to get your ass over here. We got to do a thumbnail. We got to do this. We got to do that. Like, he has to move, you know?
Yep. And when you're that size, the slightest movement's good, you know, and, you know, just like with normal orthopedics, you have to move your bones around. You got to move your joints to keep them healthy, you know, and I'm happy it happened for him. I'm glad everyone's losing weight. I'm happy that hopefully there's better patterns built.
Yeah. Keemstar is kind of notorious for not planning things so well and doing them on the fly. I'm planning a wedding in
Hey,
like 4 hours.
let's go. Are you happy? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are you happy with the Chat GBT like wedding that you were talking about looking up? Are you happy with that?
No, I wasn't. I did do that. It came out pretty shitty. So then I just took the time, wrote a script.
Oh no, it's scripted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do need a script for the wedding, right? There's stuff I have to read. Like I'm the one marrying them.
Yeah, I was being funny.
So yeah, I have everything that I'm going to say done, and the wedding is going to be a relatively short stream, probably like less than an hour, and it's going to be its own stream, and that is going to be on the big pavilion here, right on the deck, right on the water.
Cool.
It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. I know chatters will like to interrupt the wedding, so TTS
Yes.
will be on during the wedding.
That's funny. So that's still going to be on live, right? So they can tune in for that one on live.
The wedding is at 6 p.m.
Okay.
The reception will probably be at like 7:30 p.m. separate stream for the reception.
Okay.
And then around 10 p.m. we are going to do our rewards. So there'll be 3 different streams, I believe, on LolCow Live today, because we want to get our rewards done so we can just like really focus on packing up equipment, cleaning the house, putting this place in order, because we've had to move so much furniture and we've had to like just like rearrange this property so much, so drastically.
Yep.
I don't know if we even remember how it looked like when we first got here.
The only thing I remember is this table was like over there.
Yeah.
We can match up like the colors of the chairs to the colors of the table. Other than that, no. And also this is the first time that I heard about like the whole rewards thing. So we're doing wedding, reception, rewards.
Let me know if this is just a smarter idea. Oh no, it's not. I can't, because at the reception there will be copywritten music.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna get dinged at the reception.
Mute. Everything on mute and just put uncopyrighted music on top of it.
Could you just do, I guess, like for like ads, just disable them, or does that even matter? For copyright music, I'm not sure if that'll matter or not.
I guess my biggest fear is if like somehow there was like a takedown over the music, then there would be like a strike or something. I don't know. It's just a risky game.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there's a way that we could do it without. Imagine if it was like at the reception, and now introducing to the world for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Glammy Lammy, and then it's the LolCow Live song.
We just play all the LolCow like theme songs. That would be cool.
Yeah, that's something to do.
And now it's time for the bride and groom's first dance, and they grab each other, and it's like Boogie lied. He lied 1,000,000 times.
That would actually be on brand for LCU, though, if you think about it. It'd really be on brand.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. That is that's a slow song.
It is a slow song,
They
but we
could-
can also make her own AI song.
Ooh.
Talk to video games about it. I'm sure you could do something real quick.
In
Somebody
the middle, it says "You're fired." I'm just kidding.
Somebody said, "What a shitty wedding." It's only shitty if you're not a fan of the LolCow Live universe, but Glammy is. To her, this is going to be like a dream.
To
Yeah.
her, she's been talking about this wedding like this is so cool. Like I always wanted a wedding where I have like famous people and like I like you guys. You guys are all cool. Like she's been raving about this wedding. She doesn't even care how it turns out. She's just like, I want you guys there and I'm happy. And that's like the good thing about Glammy. Glammy, Wonder Woman, and that's pretty much it. Glammy and Wonder Woman are probably the 2 people that were much needed to be on this trip because they are probably the most positive people. Like I never heard anything negative come out of their mouths. So like just being around them and having their energy is like amazing to me.
I don't know. Did you hear Glammy on Nerds yesterday?
No, I don't
Oh
watch Nerds.
yeah,
She
well,
went-
her and Zay got into it.
For real?
They were
About what?
they were going
They're
back and
best
forth.
friends.
They were going back and forth quite a bit.
I guess I take
Surprised
back
you
my
didn't hear
statement.
about this.
No, I didn't hear. I don't watch. We are too busy to be watching a 12-hour stream.
That's a good point.
That's true. I'm way too busy to even watch anything that's going on. Like,
Yeah.
I try, but
Uh,
outside of the 3 main shows, I can't focus on everything.
King Freak 199 streamed to Kit Keem. I know, whatever. That's a you thing. And then last but not least, Rogan Bits, he's a supporter of the show, was asking, can you ask him if he regrets Fat Camp with everything that occurred or if he's rolling with the punches?
Oh, regrets about. Oh my God, there's like 10 trillion regrets. You know, I would do things like way different. You know, I mean, hindsight is 2020, right?
Yeah.
But this has been. Not only has it been a huge financial success, like I knew it was going to be,
Yeah.
but you know, we've learned a lot about what we need to do something like this. You know, I brought a lot of equipment, but there's still a few pieces that were missing that would have helped out. And yeah, I mean, as far as regrets, like yes and no. You know,
Yeah.
I would change a lot, but then also I wouldn't change a thing. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I think I've changed my opinions on Keemstar a lot during this trip. It's like a roller coaster. But something that I did appreciate last night was that he went up to Grim and he's like, yo, make me a list about what went wrong and how we can fix it for next time. Because if it was the Keemstar that I would see on the internet, I would think that he would just be like, fuck this, I'm Keemstar, we did great, we made money, fuck everything else. But he is a genuine person outside of the screen, and he's like, you know what? It's not as great as I portray it all the time, but we can make it better.
yeah, but Beans, like you've seen all the challenges, right?
Yeah, I have.
And it's still been a wild success. Cause I'm fucking Keemstar.
There it is. No,
The amount of times that I've heard, but I'm Keemstar, I'm just like, he is Keemstar.
It checks out.
He made it work.
Yeah.
He made it work.
But
I don't know how he does it,
but I told people,
but he makes it work.
I told people, like, even like at the camping trip, one thing I learned about Keem is don't do more than what he says. He doesn't need a hero. Just do exactly what he says, and it will go damn near flawlessly because he knows what he wants and who to do what. So I've told people that before.
I can like manage like chaos, right? I'm like really good at managing. I don't know. It's some skill that I've always had. I've been able to take, like, if you think about Drumlet, right? I'm able to take all this information, all this craziness all over the internet and compact it into music, right? And that's just like one of these skills that I've always kind of had. Like my ADHD will help me like just grab things and just make I don't know. I see it in my mind different. It's like shapes and music
Yep.
and I don't know how to describe what I'm saying, but yeah.
Yeah.
People are wild. That's all I can say.
So I guess just based on what you were saying, is today the last day of streams, or is there going to be anything tomorrow? Because I think you were saying packing stuff up and getting ready to go and clean and all that. Have you decided
So
that?
our plan was going to have a ceremony for tomorrow, but I think people just want to be done. There's a lot of people leaving tomorrow, and they're leaving at like noon.
Yep.
We could potentially do like the ceremony tomorrow, let's say in your time slot.
Okay.
But who the hell is going to be watching that? You know what I mean? 10 a.m. on a, what is it, Thursday?
Yeah.
10 a.m. on a
It's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. So it's like, I don't know. I definitely need a closing ceremony. Even if it's at midnight, tonight, I need a way to recap Fat Camp and, do final weigh-ins and yeah.
No. All right, cool. Yeah. I was just curious because just want to make sure everyone's aware of the events that are happening. But no, this has been good for everybody. I think there was a lot of lessons learned. I think the fans definitely got what they wanted, and I unfortunately think some others got what they wanted, and obviously not wanting to change anything, I totally get it, but obviously there's some variables that if they were better, it would have been that much more supported or whatever when you want to call it, right? Like I think like if we had the gigabit internet, it would have run like the 24/7 stream. I think that would have been gold, just people talking to people like on the gaming channel you were talking about. That would have been beautiful.
I'm also curious, like, because I haven't had time. Have you guys noticed a bump on your show because of Fat Camp? Like,
Oh, yes.
more viewers, more
Oh,
money?
yes.
The first couple of days, yes. Now it's a little bit dwindling. I mean, actually, we have more than usual, but it was mostly in the first couple days
So-
of Fat Camp.
Yeah.
I'll say when I was there, we kept over 1,000 the entire time. With the event, obviously with the events that happened, right? People are going to want to watch shows and all that. Now we're keeping around 700-800, and I think 1 or 2 times we hit 900, like outside of just normal stuff. So yeah, our numbers are definitely going up.
Arguably, I feel like the shows that have both of the hosts physically there on the same camera do perform better than the ones that are like separate.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. That's part of the reason why Psycho Mom wants to dab me, is because like when Roxy and Savage were here, I was like, dude, put the camera on them. Like, we don't need to see Psycho Mom. Like, fans want to see them together.
Yeah.
You have to call in with Psycho Mom, and now all of a sudden there's, they're just in a little box, and it's like, no, dude, that should be full screen. Because ultimately, I feel like I have a good idea of what the audience wants,
100%. And that's
Makes
what I was telling people. Like the smaller channels really should have taken advantage of Fat Camp with the all eyes on Fat Camp, because if you're there in person doing shows, you'll naturally get more people seeing your product. You know what I mean? So that's why I was saying that should have happened. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, Mike, you gonna have Becky run Queens tonight? You gonna have Becky run Queens tonight? Because, dude, we need to put her to work. Yeah, we should just not pay her for the whole month.
That'd be hilarious.
Well, if Becky runs Queens, she's going to do it by herself because Tina's traveling, or are you going to sit here and...
Well, maybe not tonight, but like starting tomorrow, like, dude, she might have to do a solo stream. Because we're all going to be traveling and everything.
Oh yeah, the Becky show. She'll love that shit.
Yeah, let her vent about how I kept her stranded at there. I can't believe she's just publicly lying about me having her stranded at the airport. It's like, dude, I know how much you get paid, and you just got paid 2 weeks ago. Like, you're lying.
She makes her own choices and she makes her own decisions, and then she'll purposely take the bad choice in order to make you look bad, which doesn't make sense. Like, you're an adult, you know you need to get home. You should probably get your ticket because we know how much you make. Get your ticket, go home. If you want to argue with Keemstar, do it in the comfort of your own home. You're putting yourself in danger just because you want to have a one-up to put on Twitter.
Well, no, she was straight up lying. She was saying, I'm stranded. I cannot get home unless you pay me the traveling fees up front. And it's like, they get reimbursed on May 1st. Everybody knows that. And you're literally lying. And then she went as far as like putting out a public tweet. Keemstar left me stranded at the... No. It's like...
Yeah, no.
Just, you're lying. You're lying.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Plus, like, yeah, no, I was just going to say, plus, why would you come here if you know you don't have the money to make it back in general? Because you never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone in the chat goes, stuff costs money. She has debts. But you could also, like, just make up stuff. Oh, I'm absolutely broke when you really have 5 G's in your fucking bank account, right?
Yep.
It's like, dude, she's just lying. Anyhow.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got my own opinions on her. Everybody knows them, and we'll leave it at that. I just hope she becomes a better person. That's all I'll leave it at. But she's still at the airport. Nah, there's no shot. There's no shot she's still at the airport.
No shot. She's still at the airport.
Yeah.
That would mean that she would be at the airport for like what? It has
3
been
days.
like 3 days already.
3 days.
By the way, Ken, you know all these people that came here, right?
Yep.
Nobody's been paid up front for travel expenses. Becky got half of her travel expenses paid up front. Like, she literally
Oh my God,
is getting special. She literally is getting special treatment that no one else is getting, and then tweeting out that we're leaving her stranded at the airport. Like, she is a garbage human,
I'll be honest with you, Keen.
and I'm never forgiving her for this.
I was gonna
I'll be honest with. Oh, you want to go, Ken?
This is real quick. Keem, like, don't hate me for this, but this is your beast you created, and you brought her back, bro. This is on you. Like, I'm sorry, you just is.
Dude, we're going to be 90 days from now, and I'm going to bring up the fact that she did this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm never forgetting this one.
I got you. Go ahead, Grim.
No, you stole the words right out of my mouth. Yep, he's been coddling this bitch for way too long. We're over here being adults, right, and driving with our own expenses. I spent over $500 just to do this shit, right? I ain't bitching. I ain't moaning. I'm doing my own thing. I'm making sure it gets done.
Well,
I'm
that's
sure
500 only in like electricity alone, right? Because that's like not including like all the expenses that.
Wait,
that
it costs $500
No,
in
no,
electricity?
no.
way.
Well, for charging my car. No, it was at 500 just to charge my car. Like,
well, then you're lying because I know you spent way more than 500.
Well, definitely way more than 500, yeah, because of all the things we've been buying and eating. But no, but like $300 like minimum on like electricity, like from driving here and having to charge it back.
It really costs that much? That's crazy.
It's actually cheaper than by car. I actually tried to calculate what it would have been on my old car, and it would actually cost more on my old.
Y'all are roboting really bad,
I
by
don't
the
know.
way.
I drove a Suburban from New York to here, and it was only 3. We're roboting, apparently.
You're better now. You're gone. Cool. It's loading. All right, you're back.
Wait, Ken, do you hear us?
I got you now, yeah.
Okay, do we sound good?
Yeah, you sound good, yeah.
We're good.
It was
So-
real bad for a sec, yeah.
You said it cost you $300 in electric. I think it cost me about $300 to get here from New York, and gas. So I don't know.
In this taking into consideration of like the trips I've been doing here, by the way, like I've been charging while I've been here.
Oh yeah. I've probably spent another.
So it's actually 200 if you want to be technical.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
no.
were you saying, Ken?
No, I was gonna say between flight, rental car, and when I saw Becky there, I'm like, I'm getting a hotel room. I'm at probably $900 to $1,000. $900 to $1,000. But
And
Yes,
and you better stop with that. Yep. Ken, you keep doing that. Yep. Bean's gonna fucking go off on you again.
I'm not.
She's gonna snap.
She's seething right now.
I could
Oh my
tell.
goodness.
I could tell. Trust me.
Keemstar, have you had enough, sir? Enough of the drama. He's like, come on, please. The wedding. We need something to make it more
No.
interesting. I
What
don't
I-
want to just have a regular wedding.
Nah,
I need
bro.
somebody to crash out.
He wants Cafe
Why
to be a
me?
screaming match.
Pick Roxy has been on the verge.
Say mad beans.
Do you think when I go to hell, I get to the gate and they're like, you might get in, and then they play back like me allowing TTS during a wedding ceremony? Like, is that the thing that pushes it over the edge and I burn in eternity?
I think Keemstar has done much worse things than that.
Oh,
in a loving manner. I'm
absolutely,
saying.
but I feel like that would be the cherry on the top, right? I don't know.
Yep. Well, if you make them really,
And then they're like, "Oh, whose wedding was it? Glammy's? Oh, we don't care."
if you set the TTS super low, that's really going to put it
She
over
agreed
the
to
top.
this. Like the stream where you set it at, like, what was it? $4?
Five. It was $5. Yeah.
Grim?
Sorry, one more time.
$5
$5.
for Chinese food.
How about every TTS I have to start from the beginning?
No.
Oh,
Welcome,
Jesus.
family and friends.
Oh God.
There's going to be like $20 donos just saying I object, and it's still gonna keep going even after we did the whole I object section.
Please
Oh,
don't
yeah.
do a $5, bro. Please don't. It'll fuck up the TTS so bad.
It'll fuck up the wedding. Why are we talking about
Who cares
PT?
who cares about the wedding? It's the TTS I'm worried about.
I'll probably change it to like 50.
That works. All right.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
That way, if someone interrupts, like, you know, at least they 350 at it.
Well, when you had it on last night at $10,
I love
I
how
was
people
surprised.
Write like stories. $10? You did have time.
Dude, the thing is the people here, they keep changing it, you know? But honestly, I'm not too concerned with the wedding being interrupted by TTS because, dude, our fans at this point are broke.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're broke. Type 1 in the chat if they're not looking good after fat camp. Like, you know what I mean?
Jason W, do you want to be banned? Because I can do that for you.
What did he say?
He's just being a little dick in the chat. Which is funny because he was one of the people that were like kind of weird in like a creepy way.
Nah, leave him.
But anyways,
Leave
I'm
him.
actually pretty impressed on how your scratch has healed up. It healed pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's good. Everyone around here, like all the women, keep saying, "Oh, that's infected. That's infected." It's like,
No, what's infected is Billy's back. It's yellow and it's pustulous and
yeah.
he needs to take care of that.
I don't know when's the last time you've seen it, but the other day at the pool, it was starting to look pretty good.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. Maybe I just want to see Billy shirtless.
He
Dude.
may have gotten some infection because of Wendy's chili under his fingernail.
Ooh.
God damn.
I felt so bad for Billy when he.
There is no Wendy's chilies.
I felt so
around
bad for Billy when he took the paintballs when I donated for it. I was hoping it would be Boogie or Mike, and then Billy stood up. I was like, "Fuck, damn it, Billy."
So it's your fault.
It is my fault.
Wow, Ken, I didn't know you hated
You know
Billy
what-
the fridge so much.
You know what's crazy? Like, I shot Mike the same night, and Mike's wounds like were nothing, and it was like the same distance. Like, I don't really know. Like, what?
Yeah.
What? Huh? He could be diabetic. Yeah, Mike's in the background. He goes, "Oh, maybe Billy's diabetic or something." I don't know. But he's good now. It's healing up pretty well.
I
Good.
also am a shirtless Billy enjoyer.
I mean, who
I'm a
wouldn't at
baby
this
Billy
point?
enjoyer.
Yeah, Billy's an awesome human being, and he was definitely a shining light in the fat camp. Just saying.
I'm about to crash out just because of freaking the chat.
Fuck the chat.
I keep reading it.
No, not in like that manner of like I'm actually crashing out. I want to be, you know how I can get, Grim. I am so tame on cafe, and I just want to say like the most fucked up shit. I want to be like, cause this guy's like, oh, Grim, press 1 if you need help. I'll be like, yeah, Grim, press help. You know what I'm gonna do to you tomorrow. You're gonna be like, Phil. I cannot make these jokes right now. Yeah, do what you're told. Like,
I can't. Not gonna make me go get some coffee. I ran out of coffee a little bit ago. It's a bad day for me. Beans, when are you gonna mail the shit to me?
Well, have you tried it?
I did try it. I got the 2 bags that were. I didn't know if I was supposed to get those bags because there's one that's like much skinnier than the other one. So I
Just take them both. They're white, right? Yeah, take them both. Mail one to Ken.
figured I'm gonna mail like the biggest one to Ken because he's more of a coffee enjoyer than I am.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
what was I gonna say? Is there any like mail places nearby here? I don't think so.
Yeah, but you can throw it in at any like on the way home. You could just go to a post office and throw it in their little box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Could also do since you're mailing me several things, you can also do UPS if you want. Put it all in the box. Like I said, whatever's going to cost, just let me know and I'll send it to you.
I'll do that because I have to send you the. I can tell that Beans beats Grim. Yeah, I do.
My wife beats
I
me.
don't understand. Why do you guys let these non like members talk? I don't get it. It's like.
Because we really don't care when it comes
Yeah, I
to like
really
the
don't.
hate and stuff. Sometimes like it really fuels me, but when somebody's like doing the same thing over and over again, it does get a little like, bruh, like dude. This is the problem that I had whenever I was like arguing with Zay because I would like roast her and then it felt like she was like doing nothing back. Whenever somebody's like bringing hate, I want it to be at least entertaining, like fuel my tank of like deprecation for that day. Like really go at me. But if you're just gonna say the same thing over and over again with no flavor, I get pretty tired of it.
All right, so Beans, this is what we can do from this point forward. After 30 minutes, right, we'll put it on members only and just leave it members only, right? We'll let people come in, talk their shit, because, well, yeah,
That would be funny because it would just be like 30 minutes of like pure hatred until it's like silence and it's like, okay.
it'd be beautiful.
Well, Cafe, I got to check out. I got to do my drum alert. So thank
you.
Gonna plan a
you.
wedding.
and I gotta go plan a wedding.
Enjoy your wedding,
Dude,
sir.
if my wedding is good and I planned it in just a few hours, Brantley's gonna get really pissed off at our wedding when I do not want a wedding planner and I want to do it myself. She's gonna get pissed.
Hell yeah.
I would love to see Keemstar's wedding, how that's going to be, because Riley's already beautiful. I can't imagine what wedding dress she's going to pick out.
Well, maybe we get an invite.
That'd
Zero
be cool.
Dead, welcome to Band World. Appreciate you. So I just wanted to let you know the bro that survived is obsessed with using mouse cursors to like pick noses. So I'm gonna use my mouse cursor to pick your nose right now. I'm picking your nose with the mouse cursor. Stop moving. Stop moving. Yeah. So real quick,
It would be better if you had the cursor that's just like a one
I have.
finger.
That's what I have.
Yes.
So LolCow Live apparently is going live 3 times today. As of right now, things may change, but all I'm gonna say is cash cow and a buff. Get into the Discord. You'll see the announcements, and that way you can join in. Because sometimes if they're going to do multiple live streams in one day, the notifications can get messed up. So we've learned that. Dress Twiggy as the bride. No, we're not doing that because he looks like a fucking melon. Like I can't.
Have you seen what happened yesterday also with the
Yeah, I did. I actually donated and said they should have did the
reverse.
The reverse mohawk, so it looked like Becky and Cyrax. That would have been funnier, I think. But
There's a lot of things that happen that like is not even part of content. You would think that it's content. Because there was one time where I was just like, you know what, I'm bored, or like I need a break. So I started walking around like the building.
Yep.
I turn around this corner. Not only is Johnny, he's bald. First of all, he's bald for some reason. He looks like a Make-A-Wish kid. But also Albert was just farting in his face. And I just had to turn back around. I was like, I don't know if there's a camera out or something, but that apparently not. They were just doing that for fun. So go off, Queen.
It's beautiful. Is Matt's house going live?
It should be.
I don't know. Let me actually check to see if there's a redirect in there. Fuck, what was I gonna say?
Straight black coffee.
There is nothing in there right now. So there's nothing for me to redirect to at the moment.
Just wait until like it's still pretty early. Usually they do it in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, wait for the last 30 seconds and they should be able to do it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, the way that I was saying was actually truthful. Usually it's in the last 5
I'm
minutes.
sorry, last 10 seconds. So.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful. Thank you, Grim.
Now we're just being dramatic.
No, but real quick, that's why they come in the stream to tell us that they finally put it up every time they come in, so we're able to do it then. But
Oh, somebody
Last
made
5
a
seconds, my bad.
yeah. Tech support was here a little bit earlier.
yeah, he was in the chat
the
earlier.
chat. Mhm.
Yep. So Milkers evidently has fallen through the seams. We had the Roxy and Savage fight yesterday, and Miss Tina had come in and play Peacemaker of all people. Miss Tina.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any behind the scenes stuff going on with that one that you can give us some light on? Like, is that like what's going on?
To be honest, I think that was during whenever we went out. But in general, St. Elmo's Fire with the 199. Thank you very much. There's been a lot of talk behind the scenes when it comes to who's entertaining, who's not, who can bring value, who can't. And so I think there's going to be many changes who not only, I don't know, maybe the schedule. I don't think the schedule is going to change much, but maybe the layout of some shows. Keemstar, he's pretty open with things that he says about shows, but there are some couple things that he keeps to himself.
Yeah.
Because I think that's going to be the really, like, I don't want to say wow factor, but like the shock of it all. Probably the first LolCow live stream that's not at Fat Camp is going to be one for the books, because there's going to be some firings, there's going to be some hirings, there's going to be a lot of changes, to say the least.
I'm gonna coin it.
Yes.
My bad. I'm gonna coin it the LolCow apocalypse.
LolCow apocalypse.
The LolCow apocalypse
that's
is going to happen after Fat Camp.
I think so. So far as I know, Cafe and us are not part of that apocalypse.
I mean,
LolCow apocalypse.
we're fucking. Excuse me, I'm yawning. Slept too hard. What was I
Because
gonna
you're
say?
at home.
Bruh.
You're at home with
You
all your
have
pills and your
no
wife.
idea. You have no idea the sleep
So
I've been
jealous.
getting is fucking beautiful. No, I was gonna say it'd be kind of fucked up if we're dropping coffee. They're like, oh, by the way, you're both fired. Like, okay, cool. But
Just
yeah,
push out the merch and push out the host. That's what they always say. I'm
straight
just
up, bro. Yeah, so the local apocalypse will probably happen. But people were saying that was fake. This is what I will say. While I was there, Roxy and Savage were arguing quite a bit. So there was no cameras around. Whatever. So I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just saying
Well-
I did see some hostility.
There's been some hostility just because of like the way they act towards each other. Like for example, the only I try not to pay attention to everybody and like all the drama and stuff.
Yeah.
But I did pay attention whenever she woke Savage up with her own bullhorn. That, you know, obviously people want sleep, especially around here, around these parts. But yeah, so that was a fight. I think they were arguing about the whole situation with getting rid of one person. The money is always a proponent of turmoil. It's going to be like a lot of many things. I'm just looking forward to see how it's going to be with just Savage and Roxy. That's going to be interesting. Why are you rubbing the table like that?
Your mom.
Okay.
So I'm setting a
Is there-
goal. I'm setting a goal for the last 10 minutes. It's going to be
A goal for what?
to drop the name of the coffee, right? That we're going to be sampling, or the tester. Keem said for $50 we'll do it, so I'm going to do 10 super chats at $5 because that equals 50. And I'm starting the goal now. I want to see. We got 700 people here. wanna see
People in
if-
the chat are sorry. I was just gonna say real quick, people in the chat are saying that the link for Madhouse is up.
Okay, I'll do it now then. All right, guys. So 10 super chats at Teal, which is like $5. I just want to see. This will be the last time I even mention it until it comes out on the store.
We're almost there which is very surprising. These 2 weeks, it's complicated. These 2 weeks were both very slow and very fast at the same time. I feel like I barely remember the month of March. But now April is coming up. We're going to release a coffee on April 1st, which I'm going to believe that it's real because we sampled the sample. But other than that,
So it's not coming up for me to redirect to.
it's not coming up. What the?
It goes. Yeah, I had the same issue. You have to go search for their show, like on YouTube, copy the link, and then paste it on there.
I can't. Oh,
I know.
There
I
we
know.
are. There we are. All right. Fucking Madhouse.
I think one of the dramas that might ensue, depending on how my dress looks, because my dress is a very light blue. I'm gonna say this here: it's a very light blue, but with the cameras and the lighting, I really hope it does not look white because I do not want to be accused of trying to like upstage the freaking the. This is my anxiety speaking, by the way. Plus, you gave me like straight black coffee.
Nice.
Grim.
What?
Why'd you give her black coffee, bro?
Black coffee? I thought you liked the black.
Excuse me. I like coffee with creamer and sugar, sir.
I didn't know that.
Coconut creamer, Cafe
Do it better
Bustelo.
You
next.
said you just wanted coffee, you fucking dickhead.
Do it better next time.
I can't.
Whatever you say, wings.
Don't call me wings.
Too
Then
soon,
people
bro.
are actually gonna
Too
believe
soon.
it.
I'm sorry, kid. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all good. It's evidently
Grim, blink help in Morse code, please.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
I don't know. I don't really know. I'm sure Ken knows more than I do.
Yeah. So I get people.
Did it teach you Morse code?
People don't want to know the coffee flavor. That's fine. They'll wait another week for it. Yes, Greek Independence Day. So yeah, so Trump signed a law officially having it Greek Independence Day. So
Really?
yeah, that's literally going to be a national holiday.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, finally.
Yeah,
Took y'all long enough.
yeah, I know, right? So the big
So,
one, the big one for Greece is Oki Day, and that's because Oki means no in Greek, and Oki Day was the day when Mussolini, not Mussolini, who was he? The Italian dictator during World War II. Right.
You're right, Mussolini.
Mussolini. So he called Greece, the prime minister of Greece at the time, and he asked him to join them. And basically said, if you don't join us, we're going to invade you. And the prime minister said, Oki, and hung up the phone. And that was basically Greece's entry into World War II. So that's kind of known as Oki Day.
Just because we're in the last 5 minutes and I do want to get to like some news. Did you hear this news that the White House mistakenly shares some war plans with a journalist?
No fucking way.
Yeah,
Are you being serious?
Yeah, so
What the
apparently the top Trump administration officials mistakenly disclosed war plans in a messaging group that included journalists shortly before the U.S. attacked Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis. The White House said on Monday, following a first-hand account by The Atlantic.
Our country's a joke.
Well,
Yeah.
this kind of aligns with the whole thing that there was like some dude who was part of the military and he had enough clearance apparently to like have access to like really important documents and he shared it on freaking Minecraft servers or something.
Oh, the
Wow.
guy that worked at the Pentagon?
Did he work at the Pentagon?
Yeah, he worked at the Pentagon. He was like like a 27-year-old or some shit. I don't remember what it was.
But-
But he's a young kid.
He's older than us and you're calling him a kid.
What do you want me to say? He's fucking young for like being in the Pentagon.
I guess. Was it Shy? I'm just kidding.
Wow.
He did kind of look like Shy though.
Hey.
But the fact that you work in such a prestige place, you have access to like very important documents and you share it on a Minecraft server. And now you have Yemen war plans and you share it on a messaging group. I know it was an accident, but you would think that there's more security measures.
So, cats and cross stitches with the 5 British pounds. Can we get the coffee shipped to the UK? I believe so. Yes, because he said major countries get the shipping for international.
Yeah,
So
we can talk to Baja and
Yep.
get some clarification on that.
yep. And
Okay.
then huh?
Oh, sorry, Ken. I don't mean to talk over you so much. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, bro. It's just my show. So here's another one, right? Grim, shut the fuck up. So anyways, another news story that broke out is evidently 23andMe is filed for bankruptcy. And people are afraid of their DNA samples getting leaked to private companies because of this if someone buys out 23andMe. That is
Is
wild.
there any way to? Because I know that with 23andMe, they ask you like, "Hey, do you want us to keep your DNA for any reason?" And you can say yes or no. Do they truly delete your data, or is there any way to delete your data? Like that's the thing that a lot of people are probably asking right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure because the thing is, they got to keep your debt. What's up,
Plus,
bro?
it's like,
What's up, Jaffe?
oh, Jaffe's here.
Jaffe, you're muted.
I can't hear Jaffe. Jaffe, are you speaking?
The redirected.
I'm just watching the news.
Baby grandpa.
Oh yeah, debate.
I'm watching you guys deliver the news. I just thought I'd come hang out while you deliver the news. Is that okay?
It is definitely okay. You have 1 minute till your show, so I don't know if you want to.
Oh shit! I got to share. Okay, you can do the 23andMe. I wanted to talk to you about the Trump shit and the 23andMe shit. Now that I know what Mad Cafe is, we should do that soon. I want to talk news with you guys.
I'm down, bro. I think.
All right, let's do
Talk
it. Let's do
news,
it this
especially
week.
after like the whole Trump thing
Well,
and
I want to wait until Beans is back home because
Yeah. Let's do it when you guys get back. I would love to do current events with you guys because there's some crazy shit going on. That story Beans was talking about is batshit.
Yeah,
And
it is.
23andMe is batshit. I'll let you guys go. See ya. Be well.
later, bro. So, are you good with the Mad Cafe, Beans?
yes, sir. I think there was like some like weird shit going on in the beginnings of Fat Camp, but that's It's only because everybody was going crazy. But now I think everything's pretty good. I feel bad that we to the Last of Us season 2 news because you apparently love that show. I still need to watch it.
Yeah. So we'll
We'll talk
do.
about that tomorrow.
Yeah,
Wait,
tomorrow. Either way, if you're not on tomorrow, I'll definitely do a news show to kind of break shit down because obviously, I want to talk about certain things or whatever. And if there's no show tomorrow, or if you're not on the show tomorrow, I'll go through the doc and we'll go through the news and all that. But anyways, guys, it's 12 o'clock. I need to send you to Madhouse. Y'all go enjoy Madhouse. And looking forward to the Mad Cafe here soon. So you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.